just like we said in our lecture, right? Don't think about all the things that you are advised not to have. Instead, you want to think about all the things you can have. This next recipe is a perfect example of that. We're going to do mac and cheeseless. This is our version of macaroni and cheese, which not going to love you back, and mac and cheeseless will. Reason mac and cheese traditionally won't love you back is because A, they use whole cow milk generally. They thicken it with a roux that is generally all-purpose white flour mixed with butter or some type of fat to be a thickening agent to thicken that milk to make a classic white sauce or bechamel sauce, right? Then they add a bunch of cheese. Many people add different kinds of cheese that are loaded with saturated fat. And then when they take it out of the oven, some people might put crust on it or more cheese. And again, all of that combined is not going to love you back. Promotes inflammation. Remember, anytime you eat anything, you're either feeding or fighting disease. And when you have those products, they promote inflammation, and that's what we don't want to do. This one's going to be anti-inflammatory. Here's what we're going to do. Here's our mise en place, okay? So first of all, we took sweet potatoes, right? And I'll let Kim's going to give more detail on that, but we're going to take sweet potatoes and we cook them in a pot with unsweetened almond milk. Or you could use any kind of alternative milk. It could be hemp milk, right? It could be soy milk, or you can mix them if you want, right? Then, after we cooked it, we're going to take it, we're going to put it in the blender, and I'm going to blend it with cashews, some Dijon mustard, salt, pepper, a smidget of cayenne, a little bit of hot sauce. You'll see how it comes out just like a cheese sauce. Then we're going to put it over whole grain pasta. This is going to love you back so much more. This is a healthy version. And Kim, you want to give some detail on all the benefits of this?
Yes, definitely. So I love all the substitutions in this recipe because as Chef was saying, we are changing from a lot of heavy saturated fat coming from animal products to lowering the fat content, but also utilizing more healthy fats, especially those that are found in the nuts here. So nuts are going to be in our cashews, healthy fat, along with a great source of protein. Our sweet potatoes provide us vitamin A and the beta carotene. Also trying to get more of those fiber in there as well from our sweet potatoes. And then we have the whole wheat pasta. One of the easiest switches we can do is just going from a white grain product, like the white refined, to a whole grain. So like the whole wheat pasta here is going to increase that fiber content that we've really been talking a lot about today.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you get whole grains, you get the germ, you get the bran, and the endosperm of that wheat kernel. You get it all. That's what we want in whole grains. Okay, let's make this. All right, so now when you go to make it, we're going to take these cashews, which were raw cashews. We soaked them overnight, and now we drained them, okay? And we're going to put them in our blender, okay? To make it easier to blend first, I want to just add some of the liquid. So I'm going to try to strain off some of my sweet potatoes where I just get the almond milk, because that'll help me blend my cashews a little bit easier just by having that liquid in there, see? Okay, well, I want to scrape this out because I want to get all that goodness out of this bowl, okay? I want every bit of it. All right, there we go. Okay, and then I'm going to add the hot sauce because that's going to give me a little bit more liquid. Scrape this out here. There we go. Get all that, yeah. Okay, so there, we got that. Okay. And then I'm going to put in my salt and pepper and my little bit of Dijon mustard, okay? All right, there. Now I got my wet ingredients, the liquid, and now we're going to blend it. Now, if you get a blender and you have one with a variable speed, it helps because now you could start off slow and ramp it up and it just don't go whoop and then splash everything, right? This one has a variable speed. So now, see, it's going nice and slow, okay? Now I could ramp it up. Okay. Okay, and that was pretty much all I needed. Now I'm going to add the sweet potatoes, okay, that we cooked in our pot. All right, put that there, okay. And now our sweet potatoes go in, all right. And a little bit more liquid. Okay, we get all that in there, we're good. And I got one more that came out. All right, now, blend this, and now you'll see the magic happen. All right. Okay, we're done. Look how quick that was, right? Okay, but check this out. Here's the magic. Okay, we're gonna set that there. Now, here's our pasta, as Kim said, whole grain. But this is what's beautiful. So look at this. It comes out just like a cheese sauce. Look how thick that is and rich, right? And no saturated fat. So now we want to scrape out all this goodness, okay? Now think about it. Put your thinking cap on for a moment. There's a lot of other things you could do with this sauce. Example, if I added, you know that jalapeno we had in that other recipe? If I added jalapeno to this, I got a nacho cheese sauce, right? I could put it over vegetables or potatoes and make a gratin, right? Like a gratin potatoes, but it'll be healthier because it won't have cheese that's loaded with cow cheese with saturated fat. Okay, that's good enough for now. Now look at what happens when you mix this. Look how gooey and creamy this is. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, so now we're going to take this, set this aside so you could see. Okay. Now we got an 8x8 pan, and we're just going to take this and put it in a small, this is a half recipe that I'm making. This goes into an 8x8. If you were going to do a full recipe, you'd do about a 9x13 pan. But look how thick this cheese is. Look, you can see how it's just on top. This is beautiful. Okay, so there we go. Set that aside. Now, take this, put it in a 350 oven for about 30 minutes. And when you're done, here's what you got. And this is mac and cheeseless. No inflammatory product in here. All this is going to love you back. And now you scoop this and you put this guy on your plate. And you've got a perfect example of how to take something that's traditionally, culturally traditional, revise it to make it where it's going to love you back. So again, don't think about all the things you can't have. Think about all the things you can have. You go to that can-have world, it will sustain you every time. And if you want, everybody likes hot sauce. I got some over here. You could just take hot sauce, put more hot sauce on top, whatever. And this one is a perfect example of how to take something that was traditionally a favorite, but you knew deep down inside you probably wasn't the healthiest recipe, and now you can make it where it's going to be healthy and love you back and still enjoy your family traditions.